Hey, first grade, it should be June 3rd, Wednesday. Today we're going to do our last few words for the first grade year, the trick words that we're going to add to this list. Here are not all of the trick words you've learned this year. These are some of the ones that we've learned relatively recently. So let's go through the review of these and then we'll see the last few, talk a little bit about strategies for remembering how to spell them. All right, starting up here, we have a two-syllable word. Remember we talked about splitting words between two consonants. So we have number, number. Another two-syllable word, between, between. And I put with it being, being, right? So those are two-syllable words, and I kind of tried to put them together because I felt like they shared something in common. Now get down here, and this is also a two-syllable word. We divide it between the O and the P, even though it's not two consonants. The EO basically is the long E sound. So we have people, people. And then because we're talking about people, I thought I should put up here our word friend, which I made into a two-syllable word, and say friend, friend. Friend is a kind of people. Then we get to this word, which we learned a long time ago, but I put it up here just because it kind of relates to the next word, there. So we have they, or the Y, they, there, the IR. The IR is a strategy for remembering how to spell it correctly. Over here, well, let me not leave out these. We have Mr., which MR is an abbreviation for the word Mr. We put the period there. Whenever we abbreviate a word, we put a period. And abbreviate means that we make it shorter. So it's not the full length of the word. Sometimes we write the names of the months using abbreviations. So if we don't want to write out the whole word February, we might put capital F-E-B, and then we put period because it's abbreviated. It's a shortened version of the word. Mrs., which doesn't have the sound R in it anywhere. However, this is how we put the abbreviation. Capital M-R-S. Don't forget capital. Always, always remember Mr. and Mrs. are always spelled with a capital M. Then I put look up here just to remind you about it, and the word good, which I did not put up here, but good and look have that O-O that makes the sound. So it's simply there as a reminder. Then we get to other and another, and those two words, pretty much you can sort of tap them out, remembering there's the digraph TH and the architrave vowel ER. It's the sound of the O that's the tricky part, because it does sound like a U, but it's spelled with an O, both in the word other and in the word another. All right, then we get over here, and I put these guys together because they have the vowel team OW. So we have how with the owl sound, now with the owl sound, down spelled D-O-W-N. But then we get to this one, and it doesn't say ow, it says O. So this word is own, spelled almost like down, but not spelled, not pronounced the same way. So we have own. Down here, the tricky part of this word is that it should sound like you're saying bean, but the EE is basically pronounced like a short I, bin. So that's how we spell bin. And if we use it in a sentence, we would say something like, I have been to the store, or where have you been? That's it, bin, B-E-N. Want, again, you could kind of tap that out. The hard part is that letter A. It sounds like it should be an O, but it's not, it's an A. Then we have nothing, no thing. which is one with an N, or no, no, none. Then we get to month, and in both the words none and month, the O sounds like an just like in other and another, month and none. Then I put these three together because they're vowel team OU, and in all three words, the OU says the ow sound. Don't forget though, OU can sometimes sound like a oo, like in the word soup. This is about, hour, and out. And then the three words that we just saw recently, we have work, W-O-R-K, sounds like it should be E-R. In this particular case, the O-R sounds like an word, O-R again, W-O-R-D, word. And then remember the word right. Seems like you could pretty much spell it correctly just by tapping it out and remembering vowel consonant E. It's that W that doesn't make a sound that you have to remember. So that's right, meaning to write with a pencil. Then we had a couple of other words that I'm going to add up there that I already introduced to you. I just thought I would sort of reintroduce them again a little bit more specifically. So here's the word first, which is the grade that you are anticipating leaving. IR in that word. R control vowel, IR says like in bird, but in this case it's first. First. Tap it out. IR says as long as you remember that. You should be able to read that word. Then we have this one, which again, it's just like a two-syllable word. You just have to split it into two pieces. Little. Little. There you go. So we're going to add little to our collection of words. And then we have 3 new words. And then we're all done with trick words. So this one is relatively easy to read. Many of you probably already know it. We have this vowel team EW, which you learned not too long ago. I mean, I guess it seems like a long time ago, back in March. So vowel team EW says oo. So does vowel team OO and vowel team OU some of the time. In this case, vowel team EW only says oo. So all we have to do is put that N sound at the front, and it says new. The hard part is when it comes to spelling it, because we know that there's 3 or 4 different ways to write oo. U consonant E can also sound like oo. So that's what you have to remember. NEW is new. Okay, so we're going to add that up here. Then we have another word which isn't very difficult as long as you remember the rules about suffix. So the suffix ed has 3 different sounds. It can say ed, and I told you it says ed when you have a T at the end of a word or a D at the end of the word, like in painted or handed, the ed says ed. The rest of the time it either says t or d. So if it's coming after what we call an unvoiced letter, like a P, unvoiced because it doesn't have that grr sound to it. It's more of a puffy sound. So we say jumped, and the ed sounds like a T. If it's more of a voiced letter like M, or N, or in this case, O, because you kind of have that a sound coming from down in your throat, we call that a voiced letter, then the ed sounds like a D. So I climbed, or I, what's the other word I was thinking of? Joined. And in this case, we have called. So you had the word call before. If we take off the suffix, C, and then you have glued sound A-L-L. C-A-L-L, call. The only hard part is that you have to know that it's ED at the end. Sounds like it should be just D. And it sounds really like you should spell it C-A-L-D. But this is what it should look like, C-A-L-L and then E-D, because it means I did it in the past. It's past. So we add the ED. So that is another trick word. And you would pronounce it called, not calded.
Sometimes happens.
And the last word. We are grateful we have a student in our class whose name is spelled this way. And this is the word, water. So, what makes it tricky? Well, the t-er, that's not tricky. W, that's not tricky. It's the aw, wa. Now, what did we learn goes aw? Well, if you remember, it was A-W. So, if we were to spell this the way we've learned to spell things, it would be W-A-W-T-E-R. But they didn't put the other W in there. So it's W-A-T-E-R, water. Kind of like want, with respect to the sound of the A. So this is water. Remember, water. That's our sign for water. So this is our last word that we are adding to our list. I have way up at the top, there's the word called. And I'm going to add the word water. So you have learned all of the trick words that you were supposed to have learned for first grade. I hope that this is something that will stick with you and that you won't forget how to spell any of the words. Use them in your writing, especially as you're heading into second grade, and there will be a lot more writing for you to do. So I'm very excited for you, and I hope that you've enjoyed learning all these different words. All right, first grade, I will see you again. Bye.